Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock. And I want to make sure that we're, get enough history here so we can talk about what's coming, because we need a foundation. We need a foundation that's going to give an understanding of people that are, I wouldn't say in the lead, but in the front, the tip of the spear in a lot of this stuff. And Larken Rose is a very respected individual that's doing what he can to make sure that his fellow human beings are aware. And he really does a great job, and we're proud to have him on Freedom's Phoenix whenever we get a chance. And I can encourage you to keep posting there, because you give such a good voice to what this really is about. And it's about how many minds can we free? And you're doing a great job in that. And when you have the IRS kicking in the door, you have individual human beings that are doing this. So my question is as you're dealing with the IRS and you're dealing with prosecutors and judges and employees of the government, and you're showing them exactly what they're doing, they're not even obeying their own rules, and they use the heavy hand of we can to get a comply or die thing, I'm wondering, do you get any kind of a sense of humanity from them? They're feeling guilty about what they're doing, or they just don't care, or they just want to keep their job, or are they even worth attempting to save? Or, give me that perspective.
Well, that's funny, because that ties in exactly with the book of mine that just came out called The Most Dangerous Superstition, which is about what the belief in authority and government does to people. And all these people, the dozen or so that invaded our house, and the judge who flung me in prison for 15 months, and all them, there's a whole range of personalities, of course, just like there is with everybody else. Some of them seem to enjoy lording power over other people. They're just stupid thugs and bullies. And some of them seem to just sort of be doing a job, and sometimes almost seem to feel bad about, gosh, I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it to you anyway. But what they all have in common is that none of them accept responsibility for their actions. They all believe that they're acting on behalf of this mythical, magical entity called government, and that absolves them of any responsibility. So they don't see it as, I'm a guy with a gun breaking into somebody's house because he said stuff. They see it as, I'm a law enforcer, and that's all that matters.
Wow.
And so
there's no redeeming. This is my point. I've always said this for, over a decade. I go, in the end, as this starts to wind down, whatever, there are going to be, if not literal, certainly metaphorical guillotine lines. There are going to be people that are going to be targeted by others as having destroyed them in their lives. And I don't want to, one, don't want to be in the line. And two, I don't want to be at the lever of the guillotine or mess. I don't even want to be anywhere near it, man. I'm over here. I'm the love guy,
Right.
But it's going to happen. And I just got off the phone before the show with a representative of the Phoenix Police Department. We have another event that we're doing next week. It's going to, not make some people happy. But, it's legal. We do it. We have these cards, and we have a thing called wallet voting. We're promoting silver as exchange and so on, following a lot of what you talked about in Iron Web. Now, what we're doing is get some attention to it and some goodwill with the public. Is we're going out to all the parking meters, and it has a graphic that has a guy putting something in a parking meter with a circle with a slash through it. And the slogan is, "We fed your meter so you don't feed the state," and getting a ticket. Well, in some communities it's illegal to do that, to feed someone else's meter. Well, here and I called the place. I said, "No, here we go, Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday." I go, "Tuesday, man, we're going to be all over this. And the gun show this weekend. I go to Tucson, and we're giving out these cards. Get all aboard the Silver Bullet, the Love Train, okay? And it's all about being able to have a chart on what silver's worth, and the old circulated silver, the dimes that are worth a couple dollars now, and so on. To start in their transactions at the silver for bullets, the silver bullet. Well, who shoots silver bullets? Lone Ranger. So we have, morphed Ron Paul into the Lone Ranger, and Tonto is Rand or something. And then we have, what do the silver bullets kill? Oh, a werewolf. So who do? We morph, Bernanke into the werewolf, represent the Federal Reserve. And so, we just have some fun with this. Well, one of the things is, we know that fines and penalties and all kinds of stuff are getting amped up, and it's going to get bad. And when the pensions start going on all these municipal employees, including the police, and they know it. I mean, we've had conversations that said, this is done, right? So it's at least going to be, even if you get it, it's going to be inflated away. So you need us on your side. You need to be seen, or at least portrayed in the perception that the Phoenix police are there to protect our rights, that you're the white hat, not the black hat. So we do everything we can to do that, to hold it off as long as we can, because I know it's going to get violent. It's going to get nasty. And we need to try and at least be, open to keeping this peaceful, because I had Jack McLam on early this week, and I remember in the 90s, he was like the original Oath Keeper. He was the guy saying, the police and the military are going to be the tip of the spear on this thing. It's going to be, United Nations or federal or whatever. It's going to be, the Lord and leaders of on high. And as time has gone on, and certainly the last couple of years with Dr. Paul's run for the presidency, all of a sudden, for the first time in our history, the Federal Reserve became understood by a ever-increasing number of people to see who our masters really are. And the IRS has just been the enforcement collecting gun of the Federal Reserve. And when you did your thing and you demonstrate what's going on, you have to look at the system and ask, is the system repairable? Should we have any respect for the criminal justice system at all? What's your opinion?
No, we shouldn't. In fact, we shouldn't even have faith that there can be such a thing as a servant government. And the solution is that all those people who are out there committing thuggery in the name of the state, in the name of law, in the name of government, people wearing badges, whether they're IRS or local cops or even soldiers overseas, the solution, and the only solution as far as I'm concerned, is to get them to give up the notion that they are that they're not responsible for their actions as private individuals. Just say, would you be doing this exact thing, whether it's kicking down my door, doing an armed invasion of my house, or pulling someone over because he doesn't have a little sticker on his license plate, or stealing somebody's house because he didn't give money to the extortionist, whatever it is, would you, Mr. Enforcer, be doing this if you didn't have a law and a badge, or would you know darn well that it's evil if you didn't have the law and the badge? Because if you grasp that it's just as evil whether or not you have a law or a badge, the vast majority of people out there doing this thuggery wouldn't do it anymore. They don't do it on their own. They don't do it because they thought it up. They do it because they view, quote-unquote, law enforcement as a noble goal, just as the Nazis did, just as the enforcers of Stalin and Mao and all the rest of them did. Hey, we're doing this for our country and law and order and against the enemies of the people and yada, yada, yada. If there's a redeeming factor, like you were talking about, of, whether it's IRS agents or any other state enforcers, state mercenaries, it's that hardly any, if any of them, would be doing these things on their own. They are only doing it because they have been led to believe that if there's politician scribbles, legislation, law, that says it's okay, then it must be. And they so deeply believe that they will consistently do things that in their hearts they know they're completely wrong, completely unjustified, but they think, well, it's law and that makes it okay.
When we come back, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to read just a couple of paragraphs of Larken's article that really had an impact on, a lot of things. And he makes it very clear, and a lot of people are very supportive of it, and it's harsh. It's harsh words. When we come back, I'll get to that, and you'll understand why they are concerned about it. This is Ernest Hancock. I'm publisher of freedomsphoenix.com and the radio talk show host of Declare Your Independence. Now, I want to give you my personal endorsement of a wealthy U.S. citizen that is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He's produced a video for you. It's a real eye-opener, and I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to watch it. www.endofamerica, the numbers 1 and 7.com. Endofamerica17.com. This video has the history of how we got where we are now and where we're going and why. Now, it's a lengthy video. It'll be about 20 minutes, but you need to watch this so you understand what's going to happen to this country and how you can protect your wealth and even benefit financially. Now, you go there. It's free. I want you to watch this video. You need to have this information so that you can survive the economic collapse that's coming to America. It's not if, it's when. That's End of America, the numbers 1 and 7.com. After you watch it, you'll understand why I endorse it.